Have you ever stayed in a relationship long after you knew, deep down, that something felt profoundly wrong? Staying often becomes a habit fueled by the hope of change, regardless of how much respect or happiness is actually present in the moment. A lot of men ignore the early warning signs because they mistake the weight of a long-term attachment for the health of a genuine partnership. The damage happens by such small degrees that your brain simply adapts to the new normal. You stop noticing the decline because the dysfunction has become the background noise of your life. When the environment shifts by invisible degrees, the transition from building a life to fighting for emotional survival happens without you ever noticing. This is the core of emotional erosion. The first observable stage of this process is consistent, subtle disrespect in your everyday interactions. Getting interrupted mid-sentence, having your opinions openly mocked, or being told you're too sensitive the moment you express discomfort. Over time, you notice the relationship has become transactional. Her affection is only available when you are actively providing utility, whether that's your attention, your money, or your emotional support. The moment you stop serving that specific purpose, the warmth disappears. Consistently existing in an environment where you are mocked and valued only for your utility forces your brain to adapt. You start doubting yourself and holding back your thoughts, using self-suppression as a daily survival tactic. When you finally try to confront that surface disrespect, you are immediately met with targeted guilt manipulation. Instead of taking accountability, a toxic partner deflects the blame. They twist the narrative, excuse their actions, and ultimately position themselves as the victim of the disagreement. This creates profound psychological confusion. You start second-guessing your own memory of events, and somehow you end up apologizing for simply trying to set a boundary. This constant reality warping breaks your internal compass. You stop speaking honestly just to keep the peace, but a peace built entirely on silencing yourself provides no actual resolution. The deepest level of this trap involves using emotional punishment, like the silent treatment, and seeking validation from outside the relationship to keep you completely off balance. This diagram illustrates intermittent reinforcement. A specific trigger leads to an unpredictable response, locking you into an attachment loop. Like gambling, the reward, her affection, is erratic. Your brain gets hooked on anticipation, pushed through a cycle of cold withdrawal and intense bursts of warmth. The inconsistency itself actively creates the addiction. You become wired to chase the good version of her, constantly working to earn back the affection that was suddenly taken away. This emotional inconsistency forges a deep trauma bond. The intense, unbreakable feeling keeping you tethered to the cycle is a biological response to stress, rather than an expression of love. Eventually, you reach the final stage of emotional erosion. You wake up and realize you no longer feel like yourself around her. The confident, relaxed person you used to be has been replaced by someone who is constantly anxious, insecure, and emotionally drained. The total erasure of your original identity serves as the ultimate indicator that the relationship has become toxic. While healthy friction leads to resolution, consistent emotional damage leads only to exhaustion. Staying is often framed as loyalty, but it is frequently driven by the fear of starting over or being alone. Recognizing that reality allows you to see walking away differently. Protecting your peace is an act of maturity, and it is the necessary first step to rebuilding your shattered self-worth. The right partner won't constantly make you question your value. Genuine love brings peace, not constant confusion, and no relationship is worth the cost of